Good evening. You're watching the news at 6 with me, Ishan Russell. The news at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we'll be filling in on them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. NIT issue simmers in Srinagar amid Band in Jammu. HRD Ministry says outstation students can appear for exams later. Another wrap for the Maharashtra Cricket Association in drought season. Bombay High Court asks, are you going to maintain stadiums when people are dying? Group of banks rejects loan repayment offers by liquor baron Vijay Mallya. The Supreme Court directs Mallya to declare assets by the 21st of April. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley raises concern over Rajya Sabha's control over key reform bills, questions the extent to which House can block economic decision-making. And Prime Minister Modi and Congress President Sonia Gandhi address election rallies in Bengal and Assam. Our top story this evening, the centre today came in for a severe rap in the Supreme Court after its lawyer failed to show up for a hearing on drought. The court asked the centre to show some seriousness. Soon after the rebuke, Additional Solicitor General Pinky Anand appeared in court, saying that she was ready to argue. The court was hearing a petition by Yogendra Yadav's organisation, Swaraj Abhiyan. The petition has asked for help for farmers as 10 states have declared drought. Haryana and Gujarat were also strongly reprimanded by the Apex Court, which asked them why they had delayed declaring a drought. And the Bombay High Court has refused to stay the first IPL match in Mumbai on the 9th of April, even though there is no clarity on the rest of the matches to be played in Maharashtra. This due to the severe drought conditions in the state. The High Court was hearing a petition on IPL matches being held in the state at a time when there was a severe shortage of water and at least 21 districts are drought affected. The court has now asked the state government to file a reply by the 12th of April on sources of water to be supplied to stadiums.
The Maharashtra Cricket Association got another sharp rap from the Bombay High Court on Thursday. The court was extremely critical of the maintenance of stadia at a time when most regions of Maharashtra are reeling under severe drought. The court said this as it resumed hearing the petition against holding IPL matches in the state. The MCA countered, saying water is required throughout the year. On match day, it is not needed. So why are you against IPL? If you have to be logical, then stop watering of gardens and for everything else. Maharashtra will host IPL matches in 3 of its cities, Mumbai, Pune and Nagpur. The petitioners say about 60 lakh litres of waters will be needed for the 20 matches scheduled to be played in the state. The petition against the matches says that the parched state cannot afford the lakhs of litres of water needed to prepare the pitches.
The court heard us. The court also took to ask the other side what exactly is their stand on what is happening in the state, what about water scarcity, where do they get water from. After all the complete questions and answering session, the court observed that okay, fine, there is some scarcity of water, there is a serious scarcity of water and some steps have to be taken. So then government has been asked to file an affidavit of what is it doing, how is the tanker water being supplied over there, and finally what will happen, we'll get to know.
At least 21 districts of Maharashtra, which includes 15,747 villages, are drought affected. Among these, the worst affected are Latur, Beed, Aurangabad, Jalna, Hingoli, Nanded and Parbhani. Out of the 12,000 villages where drought has been declared, almost 5,900 villages come under the Amravati division and the rest fall under Bhandara, Chandrapur, Gadchiroli, Gondia, Yavatmal and Nagpur. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Finance Minister Arun Jaitley today raised concerns over the Rajya Sabha's control over key economic reform bills. He was addressing the Growth Net Summit in New Delhi today. With the crucial GST bill pending in the upper house, Jaitley questioned the extent to which the Rajya Sabha can block economic decision-making. He claimed that the weight of directly elected house must always be maintained. Jaitley also called for consensus among political parties to introduce key economic reforms in the country. The finance minister is also expected to speak to Congress on the passage of the GST bill. Earlier in May 2015, Jaitley had said that Indian democracy faced a serious challenge with an indirectly elected upper house questioning the wisdom of the directly elected Lok Sabha.
to what extent our upper house is going to be used to block economic decision making. Because ultimately these decisions have the weight of a directly elected house will always have to be maintained.
Now, a group of banks today outrightly rejected two offers made by liquor baron Vijay Mallya towards payment of dues, total worth 9,000 crore rupees. The banks further insisted on Mallya's presence at the negotiating table. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court also directed Mallya to declare all his assets by the 21st of April.
The SBI-led consortium of banks on Thursday rejected the loan payment proposal made by Kingfisher Airlines founder-owner Vijay Mallya. They said his settlement offer is inadequate and subject to too many conditions. In a related development, the Supreme Court asked Mallya to reveal the assets of his wife and children. It also told him to deposit a substantial amount to prove his bona fides.
आज की सुनवाई में कोर्ट ने हमसे पूछा कि जो प्रपोजल दिया है विजय मल्ल्या साहब ने और उनका कंपनी ने, उनके ऊपर आपका क्या निर्णय है करके। तो बैंकों की तरफ से हमने कहा कि वो जो उनका प्रस्ताव आया था वो हमें मंजूर नहीं है, क्योंकि उसमें बहुत सारे कंडीशंस है और ऐसा करके हम आगे नहीं बढ़ा सकते हैं।
Are following due process of law. They are ensuring that we pursue every avenue possible for bringing all willful defaulters to the negotiating table.
At the hearing last week, Mallya's counsel offered to pay 4,000 crore rupees by September 30th. Mallya also agreed to pay an additional 2,000 crore rupees subject to the settlement of a claim Kingfisher filed against multinational General Electric.
I think definitely it is a very welcome move by the Honorable Supreme Court because it indicates that Supreme Court, the topmost authority in maintaining law in the country, are showing very, very strong concerns about such kind of underhand or illegal dealings.
The court has sought a response from Mallya by April 21st. The next hearing is set for April 26th. Kingfisher owes banks about 9,000 crore rupees. That includes a principal of about 6,000 crore rupees along with accrued interest. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, Delhi court today granted bail to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and 5 other Aam Aadmi Party leaders in a criminal defamation case filed by Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. The other AAP leaders include Ashutosh, Sanjay Singh, Kumar Vishwas, Raghav Chadha and Deepak Bajpai. All of them were asked to pay a personal bond of 20,000 rupees each with one surety of like amount. Kejriwal and other accused were issued summons on the 9th of March. They will have to appear for a further hearing on the 19th of May. The court had summoned them for the alleged offences under Sections 500, criminal defamation, and Section 34, common intention of the IPC.
कोर्ट की अगली तारीख 19 मई को पड़ी है और अगली तारीख में हम लोग आएंगे कोर्ट के सामने, अपनी बात कहेंगे। अभी तो ट्रायल इसका होना है। हम लोग अभी भी अपने बयान पे कायम हैं। अरुण जेटली जी की अध्यक्षता में भ्रष्टाचार हुआ है डीडीसीए में, उससे जुड़े हुए तमाम तथ्य हैं, तमाम जानकारियां हैं जो हम कोर्ट के समक्ष रखेंगे।
Time now to take a look at what else has been making news around the country in Nationwide. The Sri Lankan Navy arrested 9 Tamil Nadu fishermen while allegedly fishing off the Jaffna coast on the island republic. This even before 96 other detained and set free by Lankan courts in the past 2 days could return home. Chief Minister Jayalalalitha had only yesterday written another letter to Prime Minister Modi requesting him to act decisively on the fishing rights between the neighbouring countries. 2 militants of the terror outfit Hizbul Mujahideen were killed in a gun battle with security forces in the Shopia district of Jammu and Kashmir. Among the dead was a former policeman who, after deserting the police force last year, had joined the militants' ranks. The family of Siddharth Sharma, an executive killed in a hit-and-run case by a Mercedes in Delhi, released CCTV footage of the incident. The incident took place at around 8:55 p.m. on Monday when Sharma was crossing the road near the Ludlow Castle School when the Mercedes hit him. The accused, with a group of 6 friends, was celebrating the end of their exams. He was arrested under laws for underage offenders and released on bail. The heat wave in Telangana claimed at least 66 lives since the onset of the summer this year, with temperatures breaching the 40-degree mark at several places. The centre has released 380 crores as part of the Calamity Relief Fund. The state government is waiting for the release of the remaining 400 crores from the centre. A high alert was sounded across Odisha after the Delhi police yesterday issued a warning about the entry of 3 heavily armed Pakistani terrorists into the country. Police have tightened security at the Biju Patnaik International Airport, Hirakud Dam, in the Sambalpur district and some other important heritage sites across the state. Time now for all the election-related news and a special segment, Verdict 2016. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed an election rally in West Bengal's Birpara district today. Mounting a frontal attack on Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, Modi said Banerjee boycotted meetings called by the centre to discuss development issues of the state. Modi also blamed Banerjee for carrying the left's legacy forward and ruining the state further.
जिन लोगों ने पिछली बार परिवर्तन 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 कह करके यहां के लोगों को गुमराह किया था, ये जनता जनार्दन आज उनका हिसाब चुकता करने का संकल्प करके बैठी है.
Meanwhile, Congress President Sonia Gandhi accused Prime Minister Modi of spreading hatred in the country and cautioned voters in Assam against BJP's communal politics. Addressing a rally in Lower Assam's Sarukhetri district, Sonia Gandhi said that the Prime Minister has been making false promises and no development can be seen at the ground level.
सत्ता हासिल करने के 2 साल बाद भी मोदी जी, भाजपा की मोदी जी और उनके मंत्री असम में घूम कर बड़े-बड़े वादे कर रहे हैं, लेकिन अपने पिछले 2 साल की उपलब्धियों का कोई हिसाब किताब नहीं दे रहे हैं.
The Congress threatened to boycott the election in Pondicherry if their complaints against the Pondicherry government are not addressed. The Congress demand came in the meeting with the Chief Election Commissioner Naseem Zaidi and his team on Thursday.
Congress leaders in Puducherry complained to the Chief Election Commissioner that the government has recruited more than 5,000 people after the model code of conduct was in place in the Union Territory. The party said that the appointments still continue through fraudulent means. They threatened to boycott the elections if the Election Commission did not take action.
This time, we made a serious complaint regarding the appointment after declaration of 4th March. Our Pondicherry election. After election code of conduct is coming on existence, the Pondicherry present government has appointed more or less 5,000 youths without knowledge of employment exchange and even without knowledge of the department, head of department and government.
The Election Commission has taken note of the Congress's concern and said that the matter is being looked at seriously.
Complaints with regard to appointments have been brought to our knowledge. We have held the meeting with the Chief Secretary. We are generating certain informations and based on those information, very soon we are likely to issue directions.
This is the first such meeting of the Election Commission with the political leadership of the Union Territory of Puducherry after the announcement of the elections in the state. The CEC patiently listened to the grouses of the political parties and said that action would be taken to ensure free and fair polling.
CPF will start arriving very soon. The final date will be decided in consultation with the coordinators and other authorities. They will be associated with area domination between now and 72 hours before the polling day, and during this period also they will be associated with flying squads, and on the polling day they will move to the polling booths.
Meanwhile, the BJP made a demand of its own and asked the Election Commission to check free flow of money during the election. Polls for the 30-member Puducherry Assembly will take place on 16th of May and nominations will begin from 22nd of April. This is Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, amid a bandh called in Jammu in protest against the alleged police action on outstation students at NIT in Srinagar, the HRD Ministry today said that the students will have an option to appear for exams later. The decision comes a day after a three-member team of the ministry visited the campus to take stock of the situation and held talks with the students to diffuse the tension.
Life was thrown out of gear in the Jammu region on Thursday. Residents observed a bandh to protest over alleged police high-handedness on outstation students at NIT in Srinagar.
जो इंसिडेंट है उसको लेते हुए हमने एक इंक्वायरी जो है इंस्टीट्यूट की है, उसका ऑर्डर निकल चुका है और 15 दिन की इंक्वायरी जो है जो एडिशनल मैजिस्ट्रेट हैं कश्मीर के यहाँ के श्रीनगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट के वो इसको जो है इंक्वायरी को जो है देखेंगे.
In Srinagar, the institute remained tense with a group of outstation students staging a protest march. Women students from other states chanting Bharat Mata Ki Jai marched through the campus demanding shifting of NIT from Kashmir to outside the valley.
Instead of making phone calls from Delhi, it is the responsibility of the central government and the state government to give adequate protection to the students. Now students are under attack from outsiders and this is continuing for the last many days.
Should not allow the situation to get out of control and it should not become an issue between locals and outsiders, and issues will have to be sorted out and peace and normalcy must be maintained.
The outstation students who complained of insecurity were assured by the HRD ministry that they will have an option to appear for exams later. The decision comes a day after a three-member team spoke to the students.
They should act swiftly against those who shouted those kind of slogans. And they must take, but they will not. Why? Because they are in alliance with PDP. They don't want to annoy PDP. Therefore, they're saying that everybody is safe. So these kind of double standards that they are employing.
When you have a government which has no ideological cohesion, then you are bound to see its reflection in the campuses. There should be no injustice. Students' rights should be protected. Anti-nationalism should be punished.
The HRD minister will visit Srinagar on April 13th for a consultative committee meeting of members of parliament. So far, there is no clarity on whether she will go to the NIT campus.
और जिस तरह से छात्रों पर बर्बरतापूर्वक उन पर लाठी बरसाई गई यूनिवर्सिटी के कैंपस में, मैं समझता हूँ कि अच्छी बात नहीं है और महबूबा मुफ्ती साहिबा को चाहिए कि वो इन चीज़ों पर सीधे तौर पर ध्यान दें.
Tension started brewing inside the NIT campus last week after India lost to West Indies in the semi-final of the T20 cricket tournament. Some local students burst crackers, triggering protests by outstation students that resulted in clashes. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Some sports now. In India suffered a humiliating defeat against Australia in the Sultan Azlan Shah Cup in Malaysia today. World champions Australia put on a magnificent display in their opening game as they thrashed India 5-1 to make a great start in the tournament. Blake Grovers put Australia ahead in the 5th minute, but India swiftly resorted parity 3 minutes later through Rupinder Pal Singh. Australia then wrestled the initiative and went on a scoring spree, netting in the 13th, 20th and the 26th minutes to build a sizable 4-1 lead. However, India played out a goalless third quarter, but Mark Goetz put the result beyond doubt when he made the score 5-1.
And he smashed that ball past Hartjot, giving him injected. And Blake Govers, rather than drag flicking it, took a touch and hit the ball. And that took India.
Time now for all the other sporting action in Sportsbeat. Shuttler PV Sindhu advanced to the quarterfinals, the Malaysia Open Badminton Tournament. In the second round, she defeated 7th place Ji Yoon Sung of South Korea 22-20, 21-17 in straight games. The Indian women's hockey team lost 1-3 to Japan in the Hawke's Bay Cup quarterfinal. Japan struck as early as the 5th minute through a penalty corner and then added 2 more goals in the next 2 minutes to leave India gasping at 3-0. The Indian team earned their first penalty corner through Poonam Rani in the 14th minute. India will next play Canada in the classification game on Saturday. Spanish giants Real Madrid suffered a shock 2-0 defeat against Wolfsburg in the first leg of the quarter-final tie of the Champions League. Ricardo Rodriguez's penalty in the 18th minute and Maximilian Arnold's strike in the 25th stunned the visitors as they suffered their first defeat in the tournament this season. The return leg will be played in Madrid on the 12th of April. Manchester City played out a 2-2 draw away at Paris Saint-Germain in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-finals. City took the lead through Kevin De Bruyne's before PSG equalised through Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The home side then took the lead through Adrien Rabiot before Fernandinho's deflected effort levelled the match. Some other international news now, and Panama will set up an international panel of experts to enhance transparency in its offshore financial industry. The decision comes 4 days after the leak of the Panama Papers. Several countries are probing possible financial crimes by the rich and powerful in the aftermath of the leak. The Central American nation says that the wealthy countries are unfairly stigmatizing it.
Days after the Panama Papers leak created upheaval worldwide, the Central American country attempting to clean its image of being a black money haven. It has now decided to set up an independent commission to address allegations of lack of financial transparency. The move follows the leak of millions of documents from law firm Mossack Fonseca, showing it helped some clients evade tax and avoid sanctions.
Para fortalecer la transparencia de los sistemas financieros y legales. Trabajaremos no solo a lo interno de nuestro país, sino que también lideraremos un esfuerzo en beneficio.
The move comes a day after France put Panama back on the tax haven blacklist and US President Barack Obama called for international tax reforms in the wake of the leak. The revelations have sent ripples across the political space in several countries. The first high-profile victim was Iceland's Prime Minister Sigmundur Gunnlaugsson, who stepped down on Tuesday. The new interim Prime Minister described the conditions of his coming to power as dramatic.
It's a big burden in this situation. It's not the most happy situation when I am taking the Prime Minister seat, but I will try to do my best, and I am hoping that the people of Iceland will see that the new government will increase the stability both in politics and in the governance.
How would you describe the last 3 days?
They have been dramatic.
11 million documents leaked from Panama-based law firm Mossack Fonseca show how the company helped clients launder money, dodge sanctions and evade tax. Mossack Fonseca on its part says it was a victim of a hack and has now filed a complaint with the Panamanian Attorney General's office. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's all from us. Goodbye.